Hey Brawlers, this is your man, Glass Chin. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe.
Last night, Trevor Bryon claimed the WBA regular heavyweight title after mauling Bermane into an 11th round TKO victory. He improved his record to 21 victories, 0 losses, 0 draws, and 15 big wins coming by knockout. It was by no means a great fight, but Bryan did what he had to do to get the win over a 42-year-old aged Severn. Both fighters looked in terrible shape. Stefan really should retire after that fight. Where does Trevor Bryan go from here? If you look at the current WBA world rankings, you'd have to find it hard to make Bryan a clear favourite against any of them, other than maybe Bogdan Dinu or Chris Arreola. I think at this stage, even a seasoned veteran like Derek Chisora, who's on the back of a loss to Usyk, would break Bryan apart and knock him out. Martin Bakole has just had a big win over Sergey Kuzmin. I believe that you would have to make him the favourite against Trevor Bryan. Otto Wallin, although he doesn't have any big wins on his record, does have that impressive 12-round loss decision to Tyson Fury in a fight where he really made things difficult for Fury, cutting him bad and pushing Fury to the limits. Although Wallin didn't win many rounds against Fury, Fury had to work hard to get the win. Frank Sanchez, on paper, probably looks like a 50-50 fight, but with his tough, skilled Cuban style and knockout power, I believe he would come out on top. If we look at number 11, Filip Hrgović, then that would be a very bad fight for Trevor Bryan, and I think Filip Hrgović will get the knockout win in the first 6 rounds. At number 10 we have Michael Hunter. Himself was robbed against the win against Alexander Povetkin on the Joshua vs Ruiz rematch card. I personally think that Michael Hunter would outpoint Trevor Bryan over 12 rounds, getting the victory. Then at number 9 we have a bit of a strange entry, Bogdan Dinu. I really can't see how the WBA can rank him in the top 10. He hasn't beat anybody, and he had back-to-back losses against Kubrat Pulev and big baby Gerard Miller. Yeah, it's a strange one. You'd have to make Trevor Bryan a huge favourite to win this fight by an early knockout. Right, at number 8 we have Chris Arreola. At this point in his career, Chris really is a journeyman / gatekeeper. I don't think Trevor Bryan would have much trouble beating him over 12 rounds, very similar to the Bermane fight. So that is a fight that probably looks appealing to Don King. Right, in at number 7 we have Charles Martin. He's just claimed a big victory over Gerald Washington, and I'd have to make Martin the favourite in this fight. I think with his size, reach and power, he would definitely give Trevor Bryan problems, maybe winning on points or a mid to late stoppage. Number 6, Adam Karnofsky. This is an interesting matchup. Adam Karnofsky doesn't carry that much power, but he's very busy. He doesn't stop firing. I think realistically, as long as Trevor Bryan doesn't just land a big lucky knockout punch, I think Adam Karnofsky would beat him on points, or maybe stoppage win, but most likely a points win. In the WBA number 5, we have Andy Ruiz Jr. Obviously he carries that big win over Anthony Joshua by knockout, then losing the rematch on points over 12 rounds. He lost a very close fight to Joseph Parker, where many think that Parker got the bloodway decision. So you'd have to make Andy Ruiz Jr. a huge favourite in this fight to get the knockout win. Number 4, Luis Ortiz. Probably the most skilled man on this list. I can't see how Trevor Bryan last 7 rounds with Luis Ortiz. The only thing they could hope is that Luis Ortiz has aged since the second Wilder fight. Trevor Bryon doesn't have the power to trouble Ortiz. Ortiz is too slick, too much movement, too much power. This would end badly for Trevor Bryon. Number 3. The Bronze Bomber, Deontay Wilder. Yeah, let's cut this one short. This would be a massacre. Wilder will knock out Trevor Bryon in 2 or 3 rounds. Number 2. Alexander Usyk. I just said that Luis Ortiz is probably the most skilled boxer on this list. I'll stand corrected. Alexander Usyk just got that points win over Derek Chisora. Chisora's a lot busier, a lot more skilled than Trevor Bryon. Yeah, easy points win for Alexander Usyk. Now let's have a look at the other title holders. Robert Helenius, he just got that big win over Adam Karnowski, knocking him out. Yeah, I don't know about this one at this stage. Robert Helenius has seen better days, but he probably just got the biggest win of his career. So, yeah, kind of a 50-50 fight, but you'd have to edge Helenius in this one. Obviously, Emmanuel Char's been made champion in recess. I personally was picking him to get the points win over Trevor Bryon last night before he was stripped of the title. Now that Trevor Bryon has that win over Bermane Severn, he got some much needed rounds under his belt and it was a good learning fight. This fight becomes a lot more competitive. Emmanuel Char's been out of the ring for a very long time, so I suppose you would have to make Trevor Bryon the favourite now. Right, last and not least, we have Anthony Joshua, the 2-time heavyweight champion of the world. It's very similar to the Wilder fight. If he was to fight Trevor Bryon, it'd be an absolute massacre. Anthony Joshua beat him in 2 rounds and smash him to pieces. If I was Don King, the fight that makes the most sense on the WBA top 15 would probably be Chris Arreola. It's a fight that Trevor Bryon should win, and it keeps him away from the other contenders for the time being. That is obviously bearing in mind whether Emmanuel Char wants to exercise his right as champion in recess straight away and take that fight. Personally, I think Emmanuel Char would be better to take a warm-up fight first, or even 2. Just get a few rounds under his belt, shake off the cobwebs. From a personal point of view, a fight against Derek Chisora is a fight that I would very much like to see. Del Boy's been a credit to boxing, and it'd be nice to see him get another world title shot. Although I'm not sure how well that fight sells, especially with the COVID situation, whether that fight could be made in America. Who do you think Trevor Bryon should fight next? Let me know in the comments section. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe.